So we're obviously doing this. We're doing very well on the charity stream. And in relation to that, kids, they deal with a lot of stuff coming up. Kids deal with more than we know, because they're constantly mentally processing. And coming up as a kid, um, I had some mental challenges that caused me. They 10th grade, middle of 10th grade, I ended up dropping out. I got my GED in 2003. School, in some regards, was not challenging enough for me. I couldn't keep focus. Honestly, I wanted to stay home and play video games or sleep. I was just I was doing the only thing I knew that challenged me, and I learned a lot from video games. But I also learned as a kid that I'm lucky. A lot of people, depending on how you look at it, I'm blessed. But there's some kids that aren't. That's why these donations and this drive is so important because this money does help kids. And I'm not one of the biggest streamers. I won't raise the most amount of money, but I do this because it does help people. I have little brothers and sisters that I am unfortunately out of contact with um, most of the time. We do check in from time to time. But I ever since my father died, I always think about him, and there's a chance that, one of my little brothers or a little sister or niece or nephew may end up at Children's Hospital sometime. And I know that while my dollars may not go directly to their care, it does go to other kids' care. And, there's a lot of challenges. So, whether mentally or physically. Also, in a related note, I also have a health update. Um, the other day, I finally did an assessment for ADHD on my part. Um, I have a lot of times where I have trouble focusing. There was spatial awareness, there was, audio, visual, and whatnot. I'm going to learn more here in probably the next few weeks, but it was a hell of a test. And there was also an IQ test, which at my age, if I would have done it earlier in life, would have done really well. But I can't say much for the IQ test, but, you know, it's probably mid range, give or take, average. But with that said, the ADHD test is potentially life changing in some ways, much like when I was, you know, given bipolar 2 disorder medical designation. I can't think of the word. Diagnosed, and PTSD, which is a beast that still pops up from time to time. But ADHD will be, I think, different depending on the different aspects of where the ADHD lies. And again, it's different, can be different sources. But I just want to keep everybody up to date that I did do that finally. And I'm also currently in counseling. I'm in counseling because I'm facing friends and familial challenges with certain people that do me wrong severely, like burn me in a big way. And I have a habit, I think it's a survival habit from my childhood, to cut people out of my life that do that. But there's certain people that I can't just cut them out because they're either important to somebody that's important to me or their family. And it's not easy to deal with this stuff. Um, so that's why I'm going through counseling. It's going to take some time, but I think I can work through it. Anyway, I only share the stories because whether you're a kid getting care from Children's Miracle Network, or if you're my age, 38, and you're facing mental focus, um, all kinds of challenges, you're not alone. You're not alone. And there are people trying to help, like myself. I may not know you. I may not hug you. I may not be able to look you in the eye. Bit of a V for Vendetta reference there, but you're loved, even from some anonymous dude on the internet. I love you, and I hope your journey is fantastic. And because that's all we can ever really hope for, and that's all some people have. I've had viewers reach out to me. I've had friends reach out to me and tell me, tell me things that they never shared with anyone. And I can only hope, because I get very socially awkward, I can only hope that my response and what I say to them helps them and lets them know that I appreciate you telling me. It'll always stay with me. It's between you and me, and it's one of your, you know, um, it's an important thing that you gave to me by confiding in me about this, and you know, I'll never forget that. And I could name names, but I'm not going to do that. I could name situations, but I'm not going to do that because people need somebody to confide in, and people have done that for me. This random bearded dude on the internet, um, and it's been a lot. So I've been doing this for Twitch 7 years, YouTube over 13. My lips are really dry right now. I apologize. I actually had I was sleeping the other night and it split. I was out. Like I was so. I got some of the best sleep I had in a long time the other night, and it was just amazing. So, with all this said, I wanted to give some shout outs. I may not say your name, but you know who you are for some folks. But I do want to give a big shout out to Lady Psylocke. We have been together, known each other for more than a few years now. I once told her, I asked her, I said, look, even in a friendship, um, let alone a relationship with somebody with bipolar mood swings, even on meds, it can be really challenging. It can also be challenging if there's other diagnoses like ADHD. It's not easy. Um, and I said, are you? I only bring this up because I want to ask if you're, you know, it's a rough journey. There are major ups and downs as compared to, let's just say an average partner, I guess, in some regard. That's not to discount who they are. Everybody's above average. I think average is kind of a weird way, but hopefully it's understood what I'm saying. Um, I said in a previous vlog that I can only account for myself in my journey mentally, but I have very few friends in real life locally. The most important people in my life right now, aside from the community, is my mother, Lady Psylocke, and my adopted father. The reason for that is because it's not that I'm scared of other people. It's not that I'm scared of what they'll do to me, the situations I'll get in. This is why I'm socially awkward because I don't know how to respond half the time. I crack a lot of jokes. I have a great sense of humor. I have a great wit, but that's to help me compensate for my conversational. I want to say downfall, but it's not really a downfall. Um, I just have trouble with it. I have a lot of trouble with it. I struggle. Um, so anyway, it's not easy, and her heart, Lady Psylocke's heart, Lady Psylocke's dedication to everything that has been put in front of her, um, that she has put up with. And that's not to say she's perfect. I mean, any relationship has ups and downs. But I just got to give her a big shout out because it's not easy. It's not easy having somebody with my struggles in your life. And she has been the most patient woman. She's right up there with my mom. And I know a lot of, you really don't want to say that a whole lot in your relationship. It's like, God, you're so much like my mother, or you're so much like your father, in a positive way. But at the same time, they are who they are. They're an individual. They're your partner, and she is my number one partner and has been throughout everything. She has been there too. It's funny as a man, there's a lot of times you don't feel like a man. You feel you feel like you can't really um, in a heterosexual relationship, or in any partnership, I hadn't known the touch of a woman for a while, and I don't mean that sexually. I just mean like a loving touch, not just like friendly or, if you're friends with benefits, that kind of thing, but caring, dedicated. There's things we do that are just amazing. Um, Public displays of affection, holding, hugging, snuggling. It's one of the greatest things in a relationship when you can do that. And I'm getting really sappy and I'm carrying on here. I'm sorry, but basically, I guess what I'm saying and covering all this is because challenges, medical, mental, physical, um, work, everyday life, we all have it in varying degrees and severity. But one of my favorite movies, Lincoln, had Abe said, "We carry what we must." In a nutshell, we carry what we must, and it's up to us. Rather, we can make it easier or harder on our partner that carries what they must, you know. So that's always stuck with me. Anyway, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the people that it's really important in my life, in my personal life, um, because they are treasured. Because I have nobody else, and it's not that I don't. There's not a possibility that I could have somebody else, but these are the chosen people in my life that I know that I can trust, and I know that can make me happy, and I can make them smile and happy and laugh, and that's important to me. Very, very important to me. Um, Especially if it's reciprocated. And again, Lady Stylock reciprocates it 200%, 1,000%, and I can never thank her enough. But there's also my mother too, Lady Mama Silent. You guys know her. She pops in from time to time. She's facing her challenges, but she's making it through it, and I get my strength from her. I have my dad's, my father's, my biological father's qualities as well, but I love my mama. I'm a mama's boy, and I did not think I would be getting into all this during this stream, but we're here for 24 hours, so might as well do some kind of content. This is also going to be a cut excerpt as a video as well, so that'll be uploaded. A bit of a vlog, I guess, and just overall, you're not alone in your challenges. We all have things we're facing, and for what it's worth, this random guy on the internet is proud of you for making it as far as you have. It's not easy, and we all have varying degrees of weight, but I wish you luck in your journey and Godspeed.